Hi everyone, this is AJ. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my new review for the 4th episode of the Book of Boba Fett, The Gathering Storm. Let's talk about it. Okay, yeah, so episode 4 of Boba Fett. Only got 3 more left after this. Bit of an odd episode in that it was primarily all flashback. Narratively speaking, it didn't move nothing forward. It gave us story elements that didn't need to be told and all this sort of thing. So, yeah, so let's get into it. So, story opens with Boba back in his tank, and whenever we see him in his tank and you get a close-up of him, you know you're going into flashback mode, and thusly we do. But what this deals with is him rescuing Fennec Shway. Now this is one of the elements that we didn't really need to know about. We know that he's rescued her in the past. In the episode where she was shot, we saw him approach her, but obviously at that point we didn't know it was him until later on we found out that it was Boba Fett and she was working with him, so we put 2 and 2 together, but everyone guessed it was him anyway. So this whole plot, he takes her to the biker gang. Well, not the biker gang, the mod people, the people who outfit in the mods with their technological parts, which is very sort of, I don't know, is it Star Wars-y? I suppose in the expanded universe we have seen that sort of thing a couple of times, and it was done to Darth Vader, I suppose. But in this, it's more like the Borg from Star Trek, unfortunately. That's what it comes across as. So he gets fixed up like that, and thusly she owes him a debt, and he's working with him, and then he goes off to find his ship, Slave One. Only it's no longer called Slave One anymore because we're not allowed to call it that because we might offend some people. So it's had a name change. Yeah, so he has to storm Jabba's palace with Fennec Shway. They kill some guards after getting in, a couple of droids, this sort of thing, and they get the ship out and this sort of nonsense. Again, we didn't need to know how he'd done this. It could be told in a throwaway line. We didn't need to see it. Then Boba Fett does the most stupidest thing ever, which just makes no sense for the character and his logic of thinking. He goes looking for his armour, which I suppose he's forgotten that he crawled out of the Sarlacc with it. I suppose he guesses that the Sand people stripped him off and maybe threw the armour back into the mouth of the Sarlacc, because obviously he didn't know that the Jawas had come and stole it. So he takes Slave One and he hovers it over the mouth of the Sarlacc, like literally over the mouth, like he's going to see his armour stuck within one of its teeth like a fish bone. Obviously that's not the case, and the Sarlacc comes to life with its, jaw type thing that comes out that you saw in the special editions of Return of the Jedi. Some tentacles of it grab hold of Slave One. He's dragging it in and all this sort of nonsense. And Fennec Shway releases one of them bombs down into it. The ones that go boom, that we saw in the I think it was for one of the prequel films it was used, and previously in The Mandalorian we saw Boba Fett use one. Luckily it went and not up into the ship, isn't it? Anyway, so they managed to escape, and then we cut forward to the sort of present day of the narrative, and Boba Fett goes into that club place where Black Krishan, the Wookiee, the gladiatorial Wookiee, is there, and for some odd reason the Wookiee gets upset at these aliens playing a game, and starts a fight with them and ends up lobbing them over the place, and picks one up and looks like he's going to tear him a new one, but the woman of the place comes over and starts talking him out of it, says that they'll wipe his drink bill clean and all this sort of thing, but the Wookiee decides to rip out someone's arm, which was pretty cool because we've heard in the past that Wookiees do this sort of thing. Then Boba Fett says, do you want a job, like he's doing to everyone? So he takes him under his fray, so to speak, under his wing, and then we have a meeting of Boba Fett, and this all happens in the last couple of minutes of the episode. Meeting of Boba Fett with all the crime lords, and and they don't want to work with him, but they don't want to work for the other crime lords that are going to take over Tatooine, so they won't get in Boba Fett's way and all this sort of a thing, and it sort of ends there. So yeah, so Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a bad episode in the sense that it flowed and, you know, it had some excitement at times and looked good and this sort of a thing. But narratively speaking, it gave us nothing. It hasn't moved us anywhere further than we were at the end of the last episode to the next episode. Like, you could reject this entire episode and just, you could probably watch the next episode and apart from the Wookiee working with them, you know, you'd be fine. Yeah, so it's just this last couple of minutes, but yeah, you know, it was fine, but I don't know, this program doesn't seem like it's got the budget of The Mandalorian. It looks like it's been done on a lesser budget, and I still don't think that it's right for the character of Boba Fett. You know, the mystery of the character has been taken away. Did you ever perceive Boba Fett to be like how he is in this? Because I certainly never did. It's not my Boba Fett. It's like it's a different character, written as a different character completely. And I know he's gone through some stuff, and you can argue, well, that's changed him and all this sort of thing. But that's fitting a narrative to your purpose and your reasons. But it's certainly not the bounty hunter that we were introduced to in Star Wars, and who, although saying that, you know, he got killed rather quickly, right, in unceremoniously in Return of the Jedi, although he didn't get killed, but he got dispatched of rather unceremoniously and in a rather stupid way, which could go to, you know, explain why he's hovering his ship right over the mouth of the Sarlacc, literally into it, you know, just, anyway, nonsense. But yeah, so, you know, another episode, another day. We'll see what next week has in store. Here's AJ. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.